there was a relationship that was already forming that led us here with you guys. And it was such a natural fit from that moment. We were just elated and smiling at the opportunity, let alone who to know where it would find out that it was such a perfect match.
Right.
All right, welcome everybody to the San Luis Obispo Real Estate Podcast with Mr. Hal Sweasey. How are you, sir?
I'm just shocked that it's 2026.
Well, we've already done a 2026 episode.
Well,
you're still in shock.
I'll be shocked till July.
Okay,
right?
Gotcha. Yeah, and
New year.
Yeah, we're in February. We're almost in February. Sorry, John Turner. How are you, sir?
I'm still shocked I'm alive. If I'd have known I was going to live this long, I'd have taken better care of myself.
Oh, you're doing great, John. You've lost a lot of weight
not the right way.
Not the right way, but you're nice and healthy now.
Yep.
Hal, we have some exciting guests. We got to get right to it. So why don't you go ahead and talk to us about who's here?
Wonderful. So I'd like to introduce from our new company, Equity Union, Lindsay Gonyea, who is the Director of Client Services, which is agents, right? You
Yes,
service the agents.
the agents are my clients, which is a fun way to
Yeah, we were
do it.
joking. It's fun to be a client as an
Yes.
agent.
Yeah.
Yes, we take very good care of you.
You absolutely do. You've made this transition really easy for us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We dial the phone and it gets answered quickly.
Isn't that
So
true?
thank you, Lindsay.
Yeah.
Thanks for being available to us when we need you.
Yep.
She did yell at me the first time I met her, so yeah, that was we started well.
Want to follow the rules.
It started really well, so
I
like
yell at
that.
you every time I meet you.
Right, I think she figured out kind of what I need. I need to be yelled at for me to like you. So
Boundaries.
Perfect.
She was teaching you boundaries.
Yeah,
James.
yeah.
Good.
That was
Yeah.
exactly
Yeah, we've
what
been
he
working.
needed.
We've been working on that for a while with him. Yeah. And then Dan Stueve, who is the Senior Vice President and General Manager of Equity Union, right, Dan?
It's a long title there.
Yeah, good.
That is correct.
And you both work for Harma, Hartouni, the owner of the company.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So we thought it would be fun to bring them in. We'd talk a little bit about what happens with brokerages and how that works and what you bring to the table. Because I recently was at a party and some friends goes, well, why did you move and who's the company and how did they, most people don't understand that brokerage relationship, which is, I would say, changed a lot. I mean, how long have you been in real estate?
About 26 years.
26 years. And you've been involved on a team level with thousands and thousands of transactions.
I have. I've always been in a support role, which I feel like I'm better at.
Right.
I like to help agents succeed. So this role was perfect for me. I've been with Equity Union a little over a year.
Yes.
And it's just been a pleasure to do what I know and help agents take some of the pressure off of them and help them with their business.
Well, when you work in a support role on a real estate team, you're in the middle of the transaction.
Yes.
Right? So you're always in buyers, sellers, and all that movement that happens. And you've done that so long. And we knew each other before because you work with a great friend of ours, Neil Weichel, who's you're a better friend of him because you work with him.
Yes. Yes.
So this is off topic, but what caused you to make that move?
I had always been in our little suburban town. My kids are grown. They're 18 and 19 now. So I felt like I could leave a desk and be out and about. And then it just worked out that now we have this great satellite office where I get away from LA County and come up here and visit and the pretty drive and everything. But I felt like I was ready to kind of take all the skills that I've had and learned and help other agents and just kind of expand my world a little bit, and that's exactly what I've done. It's been every day is different, every day is fun, and I miss Neil every day and the team and everything, but it's just been really amazing.
Well, and Dan, I don't think most real estate brokerages have someone that does what Lindsay does. That's part of what attracted us to you because you have built such a great team.
Thank you.
And so before I ask that, how long in real estate and tell me about your brokerage experience.
For sure. Thank you, Hal. So I've been in real estate for about 14 years.
Sure.
In sales, I've been in management for 10.
Right.
So I started as a new agent, found success fairly early on. Didn't really understand at that time because I think I was just new to the business that I was being recruited.
Yes, right, okay.
I think that tends to happen when new agents start finding success, they start getting attention.
Right.
And which ended up leading me into a management role fairly early on, like
Right.
2.5 years into the business. And when all of my colleagues would kind of be like, no, that's what you do when you're getting out in the pasture in the business. It's like going to management. Like, you know.
John can relate to that.
Yep, I can.
And it was because of that opportunity in the leadership. I was like, I saw more than a career path into management. It was an educational and inspiring change that literally changed my life.
So my first interaction, well, I know probably still the top producer, Stephanie Vitaco, right? So phenomenal agent. Neil introduced us. I've referred business, and when we, figured out that we would have to switch companies, I reached out to her and talked about her move, right? And so, how did you guys get started with Harma, the owner of the company?
Yeah,
I'll ask you in a second too, but yeah.
So for me, he was that kind of change. We were both at a different brand, different. It was a franchise,
Right.
He was a franchise owner and owned multiple offices. I was a new agent, right?
Okay.
And it's funny because even though he wasn't the owner of that office, even as a new agent, I heard this name, and Harma is not a name that's a common name,
Right.
And it was like, I just heard this Harma. And the things I remember, this is 14 years ago, distinctly about this guy named Harma was that he was young, he was successful, he cared about people, and he threw great parties.
I'm in.
We haven't
Right?
heard. Yeah, we haven't heard that one yet. Okay.
That's my kind of guy right
Yes.
there. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
So-
we got a challenge.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, flash forward 2 years later, I actually met him.
Okay.
And we just connected from that
Right.
moment. I still was at my office, and it's funny, he kept, inviting me to things at his offices.
Right.
That's kind of what I was referencing earlier about being recruited before I knew I was being
Sure.
recruited.
Okay. Yes.
And it took that moment where I realized that my office, even though I still liked the brand, but that franchise per se wasn't the right fit for me anymore. I actually picked up the phone to him and said, hey, I want to move to your office. Can I do that? Because,
Right.
I don't know the politics or the logics behind it. It's this brand, it's that brand. It just has a different city name on the door.
Right.
And his immediate response to me was, I have other plans for you. And that's when he proposed me being in leadership with him.
Right. Great.
And that was over 10 years ago.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Thank you.
And you, because you were ready for a change, but how did that happen?
I was, and I had heard about Harma.
Yep.
My mom is a title rep, so she
Oh.
had been telling me about Harma.
Right.
I hear this name.
Yep.
They had opened an office in Santa Clarita, which is where I worked, and
Right.
so I just emailed him. And I said, you don't know me. I just have heard about how amazing your company is. I'm interested in meeting. And so we met for lunch, and I had a costume. I didn't want to be seen with
because you're cheating on your former employer. Yeah.
So
Sorry.
he said, I've been wanting to find someone like you for this role that I need, but I don't have. So I wasn't filling it. I wasn't taking somebody else's job.
Sure.
This was a role that was actually created. So I do the agent so when agents join, I come sit with them, walk through all the things. And then I also do events with Dan. So
Right.
that's Dan and I work very closely together. But the most interesting thing about my decision, because I had been with Neil for 14 years, was I met with Neil. My heart rate was 158 on my Apple Watch. I was, having to tell Neil that I had to move on. Neil was so supportive, and he goes, I have not one bad thing to say about Harma.
Right.
He goes, I know him. I respect him. You're making a good choice. And that was the most peaceful.
Yeah.
It was just after the relationship that we had, it was just such a blessing to me to not have that. He could have been mad. He could have been negative, whatever. He was so supportive. And so that says things about Harma, that says things about Neil, and that says things about Equity Union, where it was just exactly the right place. And I haven't looked back.
Yeah.
So
And I think if I could add to that, it was a pivotal time in our company because our focus is supporting our agents who are our clients.
Yes.
And when we created Equity Union, we looked at all the things that every brokerage says they provide. And maybe they provide it, maybe they don't. But we found that most companies didn't actually show their agents how to use those tools and those resources.
Right.
So it didn't have to be rocket science. It didn't have to be some sort of proprietary thing that we created. But as we grew and with our staff, our team, agents would join our company, and there's so many people to help them. Where their prior brokerage, there's nobody to help them. Now we were the opposite. We had a huge staff to help the agents.
Right.
So Lindsay's role was so important because she is that glue. It's nice for an experienced agent to join the company and have that go-to person that, yes, this person does finance, this person does transactions, this person does marketing, this person does technology, whatever it is. But that's 10 people that you're interacting with at the level that we do it. So that's why it's comfortable, I think, for agents to have someone like Lindsay to make sure that they're guided throughout the whole way. And they really do take advantage of all of the things that we offer because it's done in a way that's comfortable for them, especially hopefully with your guys' experience, a huge operation like yourselves, that you're already running at your speed. We want to be a partner with you, not just be a brand next to yours.
So 90 days ago, I'd never heard of Equity Union. And most people on the Central Coast had not heard of your brand.
Sure.
And as we did a little research, I learned that you guys are the fastest growing real estate company, organic growth, fastest growing company in California. Do I have that right?
You have that correct.
Okay. So
we're very proud of it.
There's an obvious reason that you're growing. I would love to hear.
Can I pause you on the organic part?
Yeah.
Which means what?
The organic part means, well, there's two thought processes to it. The acknowledgement is that we are growing without buying other brokerages, so without mergers and acquisitions. To me, the organic is the way that our agents, either we open an office or the way that our agents find us. So even the way that we came together was such an organic process. It wasn't our managers just calling down the roster and just wanting bodies in the door.
Right.
There was a relationship that was already forming that led us here with you guys, and it was such a natural fit from that moment. We were just elated and smiling at the opportunity, let alone who to know where it would find out that it was such a perfect match.
Right. Yeah.
So the organic and the marketing is because of the numbers and not buying other brokerages, but there's it's twofold in where we look at organic.
Yeah.
So why are it's people are voting with their feet, right? I mean, agents are voting with their feet. They're waking up one day and saying, "Hey, I think I want to hook my wagon to Equity Union versus where I was before." Why is that happening? Number one.
Sure.
And number two, what impact do you think what positive or different impact are you guys having on buyers and sellers by the way you work with agents?
Sure. So I think there's a lot of reasons why agents join our company, why it might be appealing to them. I do feel like in general that the brokerage industry is consolidating. There's a lot of less options. There's people I think are kind of getting tired of the corporate structure and not just real estate, but across the board, where people might not be people anymore or jobs might not be important anymore. And real estate's always been a people business. It's a relationship business. I think it's one of the reasons why we've survived some of the tech things that have changed other industries. So that alone, I think there's still a culture with us. We're not a technology company. Years ago, so many brokerages went, we're a technology company. We're a technology company. We're a real estate company. We embrace technology. We're modern. We like systems, but there's something about having white glove service, handwritten note cards, somebody that when you walk into their office, they still stand up from their chair and they greet you instead of behind the computer and you can't see their face. And that speaks volumes. So agents have helped us grow. That goes back to the organic. Whenever we've opened an office, it's because an agent has said in whatever market, we heard about you. It looks and sounds amazing. What are your plans for this area? So that's kind of been in general the first start. I mean, certainly when we created the company 4 years ago, March 9th, this coming up March 9th will be our 4-year anniversary. We certainly had our small hand of we want an office here, 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 and here. But it really was the agents on the outside saying, when are you going to come here? And then thankfully, I think we've been doing a great job in delivering on our promises and supporting the agents, that the agents are going out there, not because they're incentivized. There is no downline here or, secret pot of gold that if they recruit so many people to our company, that they're going to get paid off or something. There is nothing like that in our company. There might be a thank you from us, but we don't want agents to feel that agents are doing the recruiting. They're simply producing agents that have influence, that are respected in the community, that happen to say, to your point, when they're asking, why did you join this company or whatever, you're speaking from their experience, and that has opened the doors to us to grow to where we are today.
That's great. Lindsay, how do you think you're impacting buyers and sellers?
Well, our presence online and globally, we have Kamaju, which translates the listing into Mandarin for the Chinese market, which is growing.
It's huge in the LA market,
so,
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we have luxury real estate that we provide to our agents, complimentary. We just want them to get their listings out there and have the platform, presented to that. So I feel like our support for our agents, our clients, frees up the agents with the marketing and all of the resources that we have to let them give their buyers and sellers the same full service that we're giving our agents. So it's just goes down the chain of, I'm being well taken for, in turn, I'm going to take care of you.
Great. And I think that we've also seen a lot of experienced agents that really are diving more into our coaching. I think you would see a lot of experienced agents that maybe not take up those opportunities or do a coaching program outside of their brokerage because they've been doing it for so long, or they know what they're doing, and they're not there's not inclined to kind of seek that support. Where we don't charge for things like that, and I think it creates a safety zone for even the most experienced agent to come in and do. We call it more of a high-level coaching, not a class. We're not a school, but they're actually investing back into their business. So whether it is through coaching or saying, okay, you can do your marketing on Canva, but we'd prefer not to, because we would rather our team do that marketing so you can go out there and get more business and talk, whether you have a Sphere business or whatever way that you do business, you're spending those hours on your clients instead of on marketing and the back end tasks.
Got it.
Well, that's supremely unique in terms of real estate brokerages, because some of the larger brokerages are just, we'll take as little as possible from your agent commission. We have this network, and I tell my friends I could be Hal Sweasey Real Estate. I'm a broker, but what you provide, and whether it's the coaching, because I spend a lot of money outside, because usually the brokers don't do that. But to have someone on your own company doing that, like Veronica, who comes in here and just phenomenal.
Little dynamo. And you said something that was interesting, which is just like in our business, we try to create salespeople by creating raving fans by doing a great job.
Yeah.
So what we do with our clients, that then in turn they say, oh, if you need help, if you're doing this, go see Hal and his team, right?
Sure.
And you do it in the brokerage business. And when we joined, these guys, I think they were getting a kick out of it because this happened pretty fast.
Yeah.
And I just knew when I started talking to Harma to get advice about someone else that I go, who is this guy,
Yeah.
right? And what on earth it's phenomenal. And so that happened so quickly, and I was just unbelievably excited. I've never been like, oh, I work with XYZ, come to our company.
Yeah.
But now I'm happy. I do that in a heartbeat, right? So what you guys have done, and I feel similar because I feel fortunate, James, John, Sharon, Dakota, my teammates, we've gotten great people, and you've developed that team, which is right behind us, right? It's like the best coaching support system you could have, and then we get to tap into that. So, I just feel lucky that we got to meet you and that this came together, and you went a little bit out of your way to come here, and Harma did, what he wasn't thinking of doing, and I can just tell he's phenomenal at what he does. I've just seen it, and everybody you guys bring to the table. So, one, thank you, too, for being so good at picking the people on your team and that you bring into your team, because that's not normal.
That's so nice.
It's not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy either. Yeah.
But there's so many people out there. I think one of the biggest things is we can tell when people care.
Yeah.
And not just us. I interview a lot of people across the board for the different positions, and often I get asked by these people interviewing, how do I know if I'm like going to be successful or on the right track? And I said, it's pretty fairly soon. It's like if people are talking about you, oh my God, Lindsay, she's amazing. Like she was a great hire. They know what you do. They know what your role is. That's like green light right away.
Yeah.
If you've been on the job for 30, 60 days and not one person is raving about you, you're not making an impact. And so if our team is not making an impact in our agents' lives, they're not doing their job.
And don't you feel like that with your team? Like if
Yeah.
you send out, Stacy to meet with one of your clients, something
Yeah.
you want them to call you or text and say, thanks for sending, Stacy was awesome.
Right. No.
Like I think it's the same sort of model.
Yep.
And
It's
anyone you
just-
refer,
yeah.
a partner in the industry. Oh my God, that was the best plumber that, they took care of it right away. Like
Yep.
you don't want to refer a bad person.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
the same mentality.
Yeah. And you guys answer your phones quickly. Everybody's got like the same schedule. Everybody's up early doing something and boom, if you've got a question.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice for me as kind of the team leader that, I go, well, take my contact number out of the phone and call Lindsay or call Bob or call Dan. You guys have built a great support team. So it's unique. It's unique.
You were talking about having your internal coaching, and we have our first session with Veronica next month, 2 weeks from today, as a
Yes.
matter of fact. And I think I'm going to walk into that room totally prepared, because I would hate to walk in there unprepared, because she would get in my kitchen, I'm sure.
Well, and
I look forward to it.
Again, I have my own style when I meet with a client, and I've had lots of coaches in real estate, and she grilled us for 45 minutes about our business. She had no notes. She took 2 or 3 notes, and she was just hammering with questions and information. Well, I'm not sure I know the answer, and you could just see she knew how to dissect a business and solve a problem,
For sure.
right?
Yeah.
And as agents, that's our job as well. Okay, where do we place it? What do we need to do? How do we get it ready? What's the pricing? What do we tell them to expect? So, again, names of companies are great, but it really all boils down to the people, right?
sure.
I don't care whether it's a physician, an attorney, whatever it is. The people, a great team in sports, it's just amazing. So,
You're describing almost every small business owner in America right there. We're really good at working in our business. We really have to work at getting good at working on our business.
Yeah.
And I think Veronica and the rest of your team are going to help us get better at working on the business. And so kind of part of the answer to how this serves clients is the better Hal and his team can be at working on it will provide a better experience when they're working in it for the client.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
well, and so, right, we're coming. There's 900 agents roughly in the company. Is that right?
950.
950. Okay, good. It goes up every time.
Right.
But and then like in our office, okay, if we sell 150 homes, that's one level of exposure. But you're dealing with how many transactions did you close last year roughly?
Over 5,000.
Okay, so 5,000. So you have a much bigger data sample, right? And so if we have a brokerage, question in terms of something on a contract or whatever, Bob's seen it a million times. We saw it last time 2 years ago,
Yeah.
right? So that exposure is so helpful for us as we do what we do in the marketplace, right?
For sure.
We'll talk about this because we're going to do another episode, but also it's interesting because you're, mostly Southern California, Palm Springs, that's corridor, wherever you've established an office, you've got obviously a presence. But a lot of times what happens in the big city means we're going to get it next.
Yeah.
And that could be prices, what's happening, trends. Northern and Southern California affect us. I was telling John, I think it's a little closer now because we're kind of keeping up with the times, but you're a good leading indicator for us as well to see what's happening. So we'll talk about that in our next episode. Yeah. What else, James? Do you cover anything else, or have we had a good enough time today?
I want to share one thing.
Oh, please.
Yeah. I was trying to prepare a little bit for our episode today, and so I went online and checked with AI.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm learning how to do that a little bit.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I said, who's the best real estate podcast in San Luis Obispo County? Now, I didn't tell AI that we're the only podcast in San Luis Obispo.
Oh, God, I hope we made the list.
Hold on, John. We are not.
SLO County Real Estate with Hal Sweasey is the top-rated, frequently updated podcast in San Luis Obispo County, offering insights into buying, selling, and investing in local competitive market. It provides expert analysis on Central Coast housing trends, mortgage rates, and property values to help buyers and sellers make informed decisions. How about that, Hal Sweasey?
That's John. First, there's actually quite a few real estate podcasts.
Okay, good. I was teasing
I won't name them, but
name names.
they don't have quite the audience we do. That's all.
What are we up to in subscribers now?
I haven't looked. Probably 150 or so.
Okay.
150,000.
150,000. Yeah.
And how many YouTube views? I forgot, because the one year we did 1 million 2 years ago. That was a big deal.
Yeah,
So
I think-
last year, what did we hit roughly?
think we hit
Jeff's looking it up.
4
He's
million.
asking the internet.
He's asking
I'm
AI
sorry, what
like
was the
John.
question
You gotta
again?
ask ChatGPT.
YouTube views.
Oh, it's like north of 10 million.
Yeah.
But
it was
last year?
Right, no, as of last I checked, and that was
Total.
technically last time we met was last year, like at the
Well,
end
but
of
I meant in
December.
2024 we had 1 million, which is like, how did that happen? And then
Yeah.
so and that's before that. So that's like everything, because we were not on YouTube before then, basically.
Hey, Hal.
So we had 10
Yeah.
million last year.
I'll get
the
you here
1
in just a
minute
second.
short that James put on YouTube a little over a year ago is up over 3 million.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
about you.
I'm just
saying.
saying.
And what was it
That's
about?
what it's about.
Was it about?
I'm just saying.
Welcome,
Was it how to take care of your tenants? Was that
It's
was?
about
Yes.
Coors Light on
Yeah.
the doorstep.
Okay, good. All right.
Viral.
The story was if his tenants, college kids, paid on time, he would leave them
Oh, that's
A
cute.
30
12
rack.
30 beers. Yeah.
And guess what? I never got one late payment ever.
I love that. Well, this is our
amazing.
first podcast ever, so hopefully we will bring you lots of.
You did a great job. Yeah.
All right, so Hal, I have your number. So we're 143,343 for subscribers.
Okay, good.
And in 2025, we had 7,021,348 views.
Okay, so 1 million to 7 million.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, good.
it's a little bit of an increase, I guess.
That's a good increase.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And,
I wish my
uh,
IQ would go up a third of that. Okay, we'll work on that.
we need some views in 2026. So we haven't put anything out, so we're only 20,000 or so. But
yeah. Well, I get that.
with these two, I'm sure it'll jump up to
That's right.
much more millions
Through
and
the
millions.
roof. Yes.
Yes.
We'll send it out to
People
the
love
echo-
No
dogs.
pressure.
People
Yes.
love dogs.
People
on
love
there.
Oh, we
dogs.
forgot.
Did we-
Oh, now thanks.
Introduce.
Okay.
Gryffindor's
Okay.
following.
Well, I'm going to get some
Oh,
bad
ready for his-
response here. We
gotta hold up
We forgot to
Gryffindor.
introduce Gryffindor here. What's his title at the company?
He's the mascot.
Mascot.
Chief. Okay.
Chief.
Yeah.
Something.
Support dog. Yeah.
Brand
Yeah.
officer.
Brand officer. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. Thank
Awesome.
you,
Well,
guys.
so
Thanks,
Thank you
guys.
so
Yeah.
much.
so you're going to hang around. We're going to do another episode, right? We're going to
Okay.
quiz you on some stuff, and
Let's do some things. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much. This is our second podcast of the year, Jeff.
This is the third podcast.
Third. Wow, that's how far off I am. So third podcast of the year. So thank you so much for those of you that are watching and tuning in to us on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, and watch as much as you can. These are interesting episodes, and we're giving you, as always, as much good information as possible. And what do you got, Jeff?
Well, and also just new to it, you guys are also on the radio now for a complete hour. The best of the SLO County Real Estate Podcast on KVEC, 9 o'clock on Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
If you know somebody and you're listening to this podcast and they are adverse to podcasts because they listen to the radio, tell them about us.
All right.
Is 9 o'clock on Saturday?
9 o'clock on Saturday mornings.
Is that right after Paul Harvey?
It is. I think it's after.
Let's see how many listeners catch that reference.
Absolute
Okay.
Auto, the Motor Mouths, and before something really good.
Okay.
too. Yes,
Sounds good.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, again. I appreciate it. And we're going to have another podcast coming up here soon. So thanks a lot. We'll see you.
All right.
Thank you.